started. Welcome everybody. Thanks so much for taking the time to join our webinar this morning. What I'd like to do first is introduce myself. I know I'm a new face at the moment. So my name is Tony. I'm the new Brand USA Trade Account Manager for Australia and New Zealand. So you'll be seeing me on these webinars very regularly now. I'm excited to be here today, bringing you this webinar to enrich your USA knowledge, focusing on cruising in the US. So we've got an hour-long agenda today, and I'll just run through that now with you so you know what to expect. So first, I will kick it off with some updates from Brand USA, starting with an overview of our tools and resources. Then I'll pass the baton over to Lee Seacon from Viking Cruises for a product update. And after that, we'll have some time for Q&A. If you have any questions as we go along, just pop them into the Zoom question box so you don't forget them, and we'll answer them at the end. We'll wrap up with a Kahoot quiz. I know many of you will have used Kahoot before, but don't worry if you haven't. Don't need to download anything. You can play it right on your web browser or phone. So nothing to do until the end. But we do have a $200 Visa gift card up for grabs for the winner. So you'll definitely want to be in the running for that. Lastly, the session is being recorded this morning and we'll upload it to our YouTube channel after we're done. So if you want to refer back to it or share it with a colleague, that link will be sent out in a follow-up email we received from us, as well as posted to our Facebook page. So I'll start with our Brand USA updates. So what I want to do is start out with some of our key resources for travel agents. So first up, our Travel Trade website. So the Travel Trade website is the epicenter for all of our agent resources. It's your first stop for all your USA inquiry, the official resource for USA travel trade planning. It's where you'll find inspiration and information to help you book more travel to the US. Here you can browse regional and themed itineraries, beginning in key gateway cities and exploring beyond them to discover both iconic landmarks and hidden gems. The Travel Trade website features a heap of really useful tools, such as destination overviews, suggested itineraries like our insider guides, which I'll talk to you a little bit about more in a moment, images and videos for destinations, frequently asked questions, including up-to-date COVID, visa and transport info, destination partner info. So we know there's been a lot of movement with reps from destinations and suppliers since the pandemic. You might have lost contact with some of your contacts, but here on our Travel Trade website, you can click on this resources button and you'll get a list of all 50 states, 5 territories and District of Columbia, which will take you direct to their official trade websites and get you in contact directly. And lastly, our Travel Trade website is where our trip planner tool is housed, and we'll definitely talk about that in a minute. So the Brand USA Discovery Program. I'm sure most of you have heard about this program or have even completed various batches, but for those of you who haven't, our online training program is one of a kind. Not only will you become a specialist in specific states or regions, but you'll become part of our community where you can share knowledge and ask questions. That's also how we keep in touch with you and keep you updated about upcoming events and activities. We've got over 60 badges to complete, covering all regions and states, and even some themed badges like our USA Coastal Specialist badge. The modules are short and sharp and provide you with an overarching understanding so you can speak confidently with clients about their US plans. What's really great about each of the badges is that once you complete it, each of those little specialist badge icons are downloadable. So if you're creating an itinerary for a client, you can pop a badge icon on your communications to display that you're the expert in that area. Okay. So this is one of my favourite tools that we have, and we show this video with every presentation because it's just so great that you have this at your fingertips. Essentially, it generates a day-by-day itinerary that is fully customisable. All you need to do is add the locations your clients would like to visit, their travel dates and how many people are travelling. You can also preference the type of travellers they are, and then the planner will give you a day-by-day, hour-by-hour itinerary for the clients based on that information. And best of all, agents can share it directly with clients. So I'll show you how that works with this little video. So you can see a big trip being planned out here, starting in LA and heading to 5 or 6 different destinations, adding multiple locations, as many as you need, dates, travellers. And here's where you can add your activity preferences and the preferred travel pace as well. So the plan is then going to give you a customisable day-by-day itinerary with suggested activities. And if you click through there, you can even get an hour-by-hour breakdown. So you can add or change things up as you need, depending on preferences. And then once you're happy with the itinerary, you can then download it or share it directly with your clients. It's a really great tool. If you're looking for something that is a pre-planned itinerary, you'll want to check out our useful insider guides. The insider guides allow you to access customizable self-drive itineraries to suit your clients' needs. You can download them again via the Travel Trade site, and the products and tours are bookable through major Australian and New Zealand wholesalers. For instance, we have the Mountains, Glaciers and Parks Insider Guide, which makes a great itinerary add-on pre or post an inside passage cruise, which I'm sure Lee will talk about a little bit more later. What I'll do is I'll give you a quick overview of this itinerary so you have an idea of how these insider guides work. So on the first page, you'll have a map with all the places we're going to visit on this trip. Then a page-by-page itinerary on where to go and what to visit. So in this self-drive itinerary, your clients can start by exploring the many cultural and natural sites in and around Anchorage for a few days, before taking a short flight to overnight on Kodiak Island, one of the country's true adventure destinations. On Kodiak Island, they can either take a sightseeing tour to see some of the 3,000 bears living on the island, or rent a car and explore the island by themselves before heading back to Anchorage. Day 3 of travel has your clients take a really scenic rail journey from Anchorage through Talkeetna to Denali National Park, with spectacular views of Mount McKinley and the Alaska wilderness en route. Clients can spend at least a full day exploring the wilderness of Denali, which features the tallest peak in North America, as well as alpine forests, tundra and glaciers. Then they return to Anchorage by bus, train or plane and enjoy an afternoon and evening discovering more of the shopping, arts, crafts, museums and dining options in the city. Another great travel inspiration tool to recommend both to your clients and to watch yourself is Go USA TV. Go USA TV is America's premier travel entertainment network, where travellers can watch stories about the US must-see places, great outdoors, foodie hotspots and amazing road trips. I'll give you just a highlight of some of the awesome things you can watch. 2 of our favourites here are the giant screen films National Parks Adventure and America's Musical Journey. But there are also some really fascinating series like Trails of Trailblazers, following trailblazers in science and history and exploration to unexpected places around America, and also Black Voices, which celebrates the rich and diverse Black culture in the USA, like hearing from Spike Lee in New York City. Now, I'm sure, like me, you are all looking forward to the day we never have to think or talk about COVID again. But until then, for all the up-to-date USA COVID-19 updates, you can head to our COVID-19 information page, which again lives as a sub-page on our Travel Trade website. So this page was created to be your go-to page for all USA travel updates, including updated policy information, helpful government and industry links, and the most up-to-date Brand USA research. So staying connected with you, our travel agent community, is really important to us at Brand USA. And one way that we do this is with our Travel Trade Facebook pages. Facebook is really great for keeping in touch as everyone moves around in the industry, and make sure we don't lose contact with you if you've forgotten to update your email with us. Our Australia and New Zealand pages are a resource mostly for frontline agents, but also the wider industry to stay informed about Brand USA activity and be inspired for future personal or client holidays. We'd love to stay in touch with you via this platform. So if you're keen, can I encourage you to right now open a new window on your browser, head to Facebook and search Brand USA Travel Trade New Zealand or Brand USA Travel Trade Australia and request to join the group. Brand USA's global marketplace. So this is an always-on virtual platform that provides access to a diverse range of US destinations, attractions, and points of interest for the travel industry. Think of this as a virtual trade show, a one-stop shop for you to interact with US travel partners, providing access to a diverse range of US destinations, attractions, and points of interest for the travel industry. So it features 5 portals, each designed for virtual exploration of the 50 states, 5 territories, and District of Columbia. Brand USA Global Marketplace provides registered users with travel itineraries, destination marketing collateral, and insights from industry experts. So you see in the middle there, the main stage serves as a place for educational seminars, while the USA Partner Pavilions, which feature geographically driven partner pods representing the entire US, along with the Buyer Pavilion, facilitate one-to-one meetings. In the networking lounge, participants will have the opportunity to engage outside of scheduled sessions. Video on demand allows for self-guided discovery, with 3 screens showing a variety of travel entertainment, educational and featured programming. Now, by registering for this webinar, your company has been added to the buyer list, which means you can contact US destinations as providers through Global Marketplace. So you'll see here one of our partner pavilions. Partners can include destinations, attractions, hotels, car rental sponsors, airlines, etc. And if you note the directory at the top left of the nav bar, it will tell you all the US partners that are part of the global marketplace. They're categorised geographically by state, east to west, and by business sector. Now, when you click through on one of the individual partner pods, you'll see this, which the individual that features for an exhibitor pod. So they're numbered here so you can see what I'm talking about. So number 1, you've got a connect here email feature. Number 2 is where you'll see videos. Number 3, the logo that will link to their website. Number 4, you've got some images and social media links. 5 is a fishbowl where you can exchange virtual business cards. And 6 is all the collateral that can be downloaded into a virtual briefcase. So before we have the presentation from Viking, there's one more new resource I'd like to introduce you to. It's called What to See and Do Across the USA. This calendar of events provides a snapshot of the key happenings across the US for the next 3 months, focusing on new transport routes, new hotel openings, festivals, sporting events, and upcoming film and TV shows. In addition to nationwide events, the calendar is divided into 5 geographical regions: Northeast, Midwest, South, West, and US territories. We wanted the calendar to be both a valuable resource and a source of inspiration. The calendar will be updated every 3 to 4 months, and our hope is that you can share this valuable information with your clients. You can download the What to See and Do Across the USA document via the Travel Trade site or the Gate 7 Resource Centre. So that's all from Brand USA this morning. We are super excited to have our guest presenter for today's webinar, Lee Seacon. Welcome, Lee. So Lee's the Head of Sales and B2B Marketing at Viking Cruises. Morning, good morning, and thank you for joining us today, Lee. I'll let you take over that screen.
Thank you. I will attempt to take over as we speak right now. Let's try. See where the technology is my friend. All right, can you see a giant big blue Viking screen in front of you?
Yes.
Excellent. Are you okay for me to take over now, Tony? All good?
Absolutely.
All right. Hi, guys. So hopefully you can hear me okay. Give me a holler if you can't. Well, give me a holler. I'm not quite sure what I can do at this point in time in terms of speaker, but I'll try to speak as clear as I possibly can. My name is Lee. I am from Viking, and today I want to give you a taste in terms of what Viking can offer your clients and guests in terms of journeys through the USA. I'm excited to say we've got some extraordinary new product, which you may not be across. So I'm going to endeavor to take you across kind of the key itineraries that you need to know, mindful of time. So my goal is to get through all of this in 10 minutes. Tony, you may have to give me a kick up the butt. So if you don't know too much about Viking, we are one of the largest lines in the world. We now have ocean, river, and expedition voyages available to guests. We pretty much cover every corner of the world. We traverse 5 oceans, 7 continents, visit 88 countries. And I'm excited to say that as of this year, your clients who want to visit and explore the US, you can do so. They can do so with Viking on our ocean, our brand new Mississippi, and our brand new expedition voyages. But before I jump in and share all about those, in terms of a bit of context, because you are curators of good taste and curators of travel, so you probably appreciate and you're very familiar with global and particular US awards. So you kind of appreciate how excited we are about this unique and new announcement. So as of this month, Viking was just named both the #1 river and the #1 ocean cruise line by Travel and Leisure's World Best Awards. So this is a reader voter award. Now, add to that the fact that we were also just nominated #1 river and ocean in Condé Nast Travelers Cruising and Travel Awards. This will make us the first cruise line ever to be nominated or voted the top in our categories across both prestigious publications. So we are very honored by that. And we're sort of taking it as a sign that what Viking is doing and offering is working, and guests are loving it because these are reader voted awards. So before I take you on the itineraries, I thought what I'd just quickly call out, in case you haven't sold Viking before, is what is it that makes Viking different, and why do guests love Viking? Why are they voting us #1 river and ocean? The answer probably is going to surprise you a little bit. Basically, we are not for everybody. I am not going to sit here and tell you that you should be selling Viking to everyone who walks through your door or calls you. Not at all. We are designed for a very specific, discerning traveler. You probably are familiar with our no kids, no casinos promise. And this has become so much more than just a catchphrase for us. This is a commitment. Our well-traveled and culturally curious guests, they're not interested in things like over-the-top ships and frills, butlers, and casinos. And look, let's be honest, our guests, they love their kids and they love their grandkids, but they do not want other people's kids and grandkids on the cruise. So if you have a guest who fits this type of traveler, then Viking is for them. And what really does set us apart are the things that you won't find on a Viking cruise, and that's why our guests love them. No kids, no casinos, you don't get charged for alternative dining, you don't get charged for wine and beer, you don't get charged for Wi-Fi. There are no auctions and professional photographers. And if you have savvy cruisers, they know how distracting it can be in terms of having the professional photographers there. No formal butlers, no formal nights. You don't have to get dressed up for dinner, which is fine if that's the sort of cruise that you want. But there are guests who don't want to have to put on black tie. They just want to be able to rock up in what they want and enjoy fine dining food nonetheless. And that's what Viking is for. The other part that I think travelers really love about a Viking cruise is that there are no nasty surprises at the end. There's no nasty bill shock because we have what is famously now Viking inclusive value. So everything your guest needs for their cruise is included in the cruise fare and nothing that they don't. So they get a complimentary shore excursion, all on board meals. There's 8 dining venues and 24-hour room service on our ocean ships, for example. We have enrichment lectures, lots of great onboard entertaining, access to the spa and more. I could go on forever. I won't. But effectively, this really connects with the thinking person. And we are the thinking person's cruise. If you have a guest who wants to travel, discover, learn, and not just learn about the environment that they're visiting, not just learn about everything in the culture in the US, but also learn about themselves along the way, then a Viking cruise is for them. So I hope this gives you sort of a really high level sense of whether Viking is right for a particular client. Like I said, we don't want you to try to sell Viking, and Viking's not the right solution for everyone who walks through your door, but it is the perfect cruise for the thinking person. And if you can match the cruise and the client together, then you really have a great and easy sell. Then you add onto that exceptional destinations across the USA, then you're onto a winning formula. So let me take you through some of the extraordinary itineraries that we have on offer at the moment and the ships on which your guests can travel. So first and foremost, we have our famous Viking Ocean voyages. We now have a fleet of 8 ships traveling around the world. We are celebrated as the small ship experts. At the moment you walk onto a Viking cruise, I was talking to Tony before, it's hard to articulate, but there's this extraordinary sense of peace and space and serenity, and it is really unlike anything you've ever experienced before, and that's why guests love it. We are the newest and most modern ocean fleet out there. Again, this is one of the reasons the Viking guests love to travel with Viking, and we have extraordinary itineraries. So at the moment we have, in this slide, apologies if it's a bit overwhelming, but it's there to sort of demonstrate that we have a variety of itineraries available for your guests across the US. And now this can be, of course, the famous Alaska and the Inside Passage, but we also have journeys going through the Panama Canal. We have a Hawaiian island sojourn that goes across for 17 days in 2023, great itinerary. But also, if you have clientele that are looking to sort of travel around the world and either finish or start in the US, then we have some extraordinary journeys that travel across continent. One of the ones that are really selling, that is one of our best sellers at the moment, is our 29-day Greenland, Iceland, Norway, and beyond, which finishes in New York. Amazing itinerary. But of course, we can't not talk Viking. We can't not talk USA without talking about Alaska and the Inside Passage. With that question, one of our best-selling itineraries in North America, taking guests from Vancouver to Seward or return. Either way, we go both ways, 11 days. touching on 2 countries, 7 guided tours. It's an extraordinary journey. You get to see the picturesque fjords. It is one of those itineraries that we just get guests raving about in terms of once in a lifetime experiences. And, you know, starting from $6,995, that's everything included. It also represents incredible value. Now, brand new is Viking Expeditions, and we just launched our first expedition ship in January this year, and we have a second coming towards the end of this year. So 2 in 2022. Now, when we set out to create Viking Expedition, we did so to redefine expedition cruising. We wanted to make intrepid voyages to destinations like Antarctica, but also the incredible Great Lakes, which I'll tell you more about soon, a possibility for everyone, regardless of age and fitness level. We believe adventure and comfort should not be mutually exclusive. So we have built these custom designed, purpose-built, and optimally designed vessels just for expedition cruising. Now, we host 378 guests on board across 189 staterooms. Now, what you will find, which a lot of guests appreciate, is some of the innovation on board. You'll find the ship is sleek and long. Now, this is actually so that we can travel through the locks of the Great Lakes, but also it helps in terms of buoyancy. We have technology including fin stabilizers, U-tanks, dynamic positioning, which means we can reduce rocking by like probably around about 50% when we're stationary. We move faster and we can go into places that other expeditions simply can't because of our anchoring and our maneuvering technology. What is extraordinary, I got to say, about our expedition ships, and this has been designed because there are a lot of wonderful luxury expedition voyages out there, and on board the facilities are great, but you are somewhat removed from the destination that you're in. Whereas with our new Viking expedition ships, we've designed it so every room is a viewing platform. Now, I'm not kidding. There is floor to ceiling glass no matter where you are on the ship. The whole vessel is designed to be a viewing platform, almost designed, inspired by the Norwegian bird, the bird watching. Oh my God, I can't remember the name of it now. I'm having a blank, but simple, elegant, but designed so that you are protected from the elements, but can see absolutely everything. And of course, this continues into your stateroom. So no matter what stateroom your client is in, they will have what we call the Nordic balcony. You can see a little bit of it here on screen, but again, floor to ceiling, distortion proof glass. That means you can wake up and be completely immersed in the elements. There's no sort of veranda, balcony intruding. And of course you can open up so you can experience everything while also being somewhat protected from the elements at the same time. Absolutely incredible. Of course, it is expedition. So we have taken expedition equipment to the next level. We have everything from the kayaks and the Zodiacs and the ribs. And we have 2 yellow submarines on board for guests, named after the Beatles, of course. But all of this equipment is included in the cruise fare again. You want to talk innovation? We have on board what is called the hangar. So this is a fully enclosed hangar on which you can board our ribs. So you're protected from the elements, completely comfortable. Think of it like kind of hopping on a Disneyland ride. So guests who may have a little bit of mobility issues, or if you've done an expedition cruise before, you know, it can be a little bit harrowing because a lot of the ways to actually enter the equipment is sort of from a, you know, on the side of the ship, they've got a little bit of a ramp. You got to, you know, walk down and kind of jump into the raft. And no matter how rocky it is, you sort of got to maneuver your way through. Well, with the hangar, you can do this from the comfort of inside, and then you are lowered into the water where you can head off on your adventure. And then again, when you come back, you can just head straight back into the belly of the ship. It's a wonderful, wonderful, innovative addition to expedition adventures. Now, in terms of our itineraries, you'll see here that our expedition ships travel from the top of North America and the incredible Great Lakes, all the way down South America, down to to Antarctica. We've got a variety of incredible itineraries, but the ones I want to share with you today are our voyages to the Great Lakes. So our owner Tor fell in love with the Great Lakes a very long time ago. So when we developed expedition cruising from the outset, it was designed so that, yes, we can explore the polar regions, but like I said, our ships are designed to visit the unspoiled and honestly little known Great Lakes. A lot of Australians, New Zealanders, they don't think of the Great Lakes necessarily in terms of expedition. And it is an incredible destination into those guests who have really been everywhere or want to visit somewhere that not many people have explored before, particularly in terms of Australian, New Zealand guests. Now, we visit all 5 of the majestic Great Lakes, Lake Superior, Lake Michigan. I won't list them all out for you. And we have now 9 different Great Lakes itineraries that guests can choose from. Now, I can't take you through all of them. Some of them do include extraordinary longitudinal cruise itinerary, which I'll just jump back quickly if I can, will literally take you from the top of North America all the way down to Antarctica. It's an amazing world journey. But the 2 that I want to share with you today, just to give you a glimpse of some of the itineraries available. So this is our Great Lakes collection itinerary. Over 15 incredible days, guests will visit all 5 of the majestic Great Lakes. They will travel through the Locks, which is an experience unto itself. We have guided tours throughout. You really do see everything in terms of the Great Lakes region, and the wildlife in the area is extraordinary. Alternatively, we have shorter 8-day cruises as an example. So this one is Niagara in the Great Lakes, Toronto to Milwaukee. And again, you get to see some of the most incredible regions and visit some of the most, I guess, anything from Thunder Bay to Point Pelee. It's a remarkable itinerary. Now, last but not least, is our brand new Mississippi ship, which we will welcome into our fleet officially as of next month. So Viking Mississippi will bring modern cruising to the Mississippi with the introduction of a new kind of ship in the region. Now, what guests will enjoy is Viking's iconic, serene Scandinavian spaces, but then with a really elegant Mississippi feel to it. Now, we will welcome 386 guests on board across 193 staterooms. Now, all rooms have views, French balconies, and in true Viking style, there is light throughout, incredible public spaces, amazing restaurants, and award-winning service. This will be the most luxurious and modern ship on the Mississippi. And needless to say, since we first started selling Mississippi, it has proven to be very popular with Australia and New Zealand travelers. In fact, many of the itineraries have sold out for 2022. 2023 is filling, particularly our longer 15-day itinerary. And 2024, we have opened up simply because demand is so strong. So when it comes to Mississippi, we have 5 itineraries in total. So there are 3 8-day-long itineraries to explore the river. And then we have one 15-day America's Great River, which seems to be the way people want to travel, because this is the one that does sell out most rapidly. America's Great River, as you can see here, starts in New Orleans and journeys all the way to Minnesota over 15 days. Guests will be able to visit, historic homes, downtown America, even the Vicksburg National Military Park, which our guests are very, very interested in history. And so this is actually one of their most popular destinations in terms of queries that we're getting. you can't be the Mississippi without visiting Memphis and Elvis's Graceland, and it'll take you all the way through. We visit Mark Twain Museum through Wisconsin. It's an extraordinary itinerary and an amazing way to see the Mississippi. And we've got a full Viking team here to help you with any questions that you may have. So excuse the team are going to be thrilled, and poor Jo is our new Victoria and South Australia manager. We don't have a photo for her yet, so it probably looks really blurry on the screen. But our team are here to help you in any way that you need, whether you are in WA, Queensland, Victoria, South Australia. We've got someone to help, New Zealand, of course. So if you're not sure who to speak to in terms of your best Viking business development manager, then you can just email agents.anz@vikingcruises.com and we can point you in the right direction or answer any questions that you may have about our US itineraries. And that's me. Over to you, Ms. Tony.
Awesome. Thank you, Lee.
I can answer Lisa. Yes, we have a daily shore excursion included on our Mississippi itineraries. And then we also do have additional excursions if guests want to do something beyond what our daily shore excursion is. Huge variety. And like all of our Viking shore excursions, they're designed to immerse guests into the culture, the history, the art of whatever region we're visiting. So we like to do things like visiting local farms and daily life or music tours. So it's quite a rich and diverse variety of itineraries and excursions. Well, we have opened up, Lisa, we've opened up our 2024 itineraries for Mississippi, as well as great expeditions and some of our ocean voyages. So we may have some ocean 2025 open towards the end of the year.
And so Sandra's asking, are there kids allowed on the expedition trips?
No, no kids and no casinos is a promise that we make to our guests. So all guests on board have to be 18 years and over.
Any other questions for Lady or myself? So Lisa's got a question. I mean the shore excursions, can they be booked as soon as the deposit is paid? I have clients booked for 2024.
No, this varies. So it's probably closer to anywhere between 120 days prior and up to about 80 days. It does depend on the room category that they book. So they can research the excursions, but aren't able to book until a bit closer to the actual departure date. Hopefully that answers your question, Lisa.
Any other questions? Before we move on, is there an option for private excursions as well, like a car and driver?
We don't do custom excursion if that's what you're asking. So in terms of just, I'm assuming you're thinking you just literally hire a car and go wherever you like. In some destinations we may have an excursion like that, but generally they are pre-planned and in small groups. But I should flag that, of course, guests don't have to do any of the excursions when they hop in, when they reach a destination or a port. So they can just spend the day exploring as they like if they would prefer. They don't have to participate in the excursion.
Thanks, Sandra. All right, so if there's no more questions, if you have another one, shoot it through now, otherwise we'll move on. No? So thanks for that, Lee, that was amazing. Before we head into our Kahoot quiz, the last thing from me is to give you all the heads up for our next webinar on the 31st of August. So you should see the screen there with, so we've got ski, we're focusing on ski next time in Utah and Colorado. So it'll be the same time, 10 a.m. Australian Eastern, Aussies, and 12 p.m. in New Zealand. So save the date and we'll send registration links in the coming weeks for you all. So on to our Kahoot quiz. Who wants to win $200? So we've got an 8-question quiz coming up on the content we've just covered. And there's $200 Visa gift card up for grabs for the winner. So you'll definitely want to log in and play. If you take a screenshot of that, and I'm going to pop a slide up with my email in just a second, you can email me a picture of that screenshot. I'll make sure we organise that $200 gift card for you. Nice work, everybody. Just checking that we didn't have any unanswered questions in there, but we've covered it all. Nice one. So what I'm going to do is just swap screens here again. Bear with me. Oh, technology.